So how are we going to figure out this economy of genres in a world that the only literature we have from that world is the literature that we have
Yeah, yeah.
in the Old Testament?
We're perpetually on the first day off the plane in a new country, aren't we? We're like we just have we're at the airport maybe,
Right.
and now I think like there are some ways to navigate that. One of my mantras with this when I'm teaching Old Testament is we just have to be good travelers. Like don't be a boring traveler. And if
Mm.
you ever travel with a really tiresome traveler, it's where there's just no curiosity. It's like the food here's stupid and they drive on the wrong side of the road. My judgment is final. It's like you haven't even disembarked the plane, mate. Like, come on, just have some curiosity and ask some questions. There's a tension, right? Because we do have limited cultural information, right? Like, and things could be worse. Like, imagine if we were trying to read Daniel, but we didn't have any surviving apocalypses from the ancient world. Like,
Right.
we would be in a world of pain, and so things could be worse, but things could be better. We could be in the culture much more fluently. The hope that I hold out and it's partly in that definition which I gave of conventions. The good thing about conventions is that they're not contracts. They're not prior codes that we have to agree on beforehand in order to navigate. So in one of the major kind of philosophical descriptions of convention, they point out that you can arrive at coordination with another person in terms of coordination without prior agreement. If the payoffs are sufficiently great, and if you get multiple runs at it.
Mm.
So, for instance, if I didn't know that you guys drive on the right side of the road, my first day at SBL, I would very quickly receive bad payoffs for that in terms of like my head turned the wrong way, walking straight into traffic. Now, if I survive that first interaction, then the next time I cross the road, I can try something different, and hopefully I arrive at coordination on this question of what side of the road to drive on. Now, that's kind of a silly example, but when it comes to biblical literature, we do get, even though we've got a limited corpus, we do get multiple goes at reading it. And so one kind of phrase that I use is the Boomerang Test, which is, like boomerang, it's Indigenous Australian tool for hunting. It's a stick you throw, it's curved, it comes back to you if everything goes well. How do you know that you've got a boomerang? How do you know your boomerang's working? Well, give it a throw and see what comes back. And that's sort of my advice to people in terms of genre and the Old Testament. You can't have all your kind of questions answered in advance always. So sometimes you just have to try reading a text as something and see if the text plays along. Because we are in this, Gadamer would say we're in this sort of circular hermeneutical relationship with an other, in a dialogue, in a multiple interactions. And so you can revise your assumptions going in based on what the text gives you back. So if you read Daniel as a love story, or you read Genesis as, I'll be more controversial, Genesis as like kind of scientific account of the creation of the universe, weird stuff happens. Like the text just kind of gives you back nonsense at some points.
Right.
And so
Right.
that causes you to go, well, something's weird about this. Maybe I've got onto the wrong foot with this text. Let's try something else. And if the payoffs, the next time you throw the boomerang, if the payoffs come back a bit better, then that is strong evidence that you've actually aligned better with what the game the text is trying to play, if you like. Now, you may decide you don't care what the original audience would have thought of this text. You might say you don't care whether what the text brings back makes sense or not. But if you do care, and I'm quite fond of the Bible, actually, I quite like it, so I really want to get the most out of it. If your reading gets better, like it makes more sense, then my strong bias is towards follow that thought. Whereas if the reading makes no sense, if the payoffs are confusing, like in Genesis 16, like example with Hagar, the story makes no sense as an exemplum. Like it just the whole like why the angel says so much stuff which is not to do with being a runaway slave, why she thanks the angel says, God's finally seen me. Like, that's not, just doesn't make sense in terms of the payoffs for that reading. Whereas it makes a whole heap more sense read as sort of a Hebrew narrative, which is kind of showing, not telling, and is tied in with the rest of the canonical story of Israel. So that's my strong bias. Give it a throw. Give the boomerang a throw. See what comes back, and that will help you in repeated interactions. That will help you achieve coordination, hopefully, with the text.